Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for today's MLB slate on Monday, July the 7th. We got 10 games on Monday, and I've got some early player props I do like for today. Taking a first look at the board on Sunday night, recording this video the night before. We've got a decent amount of props up right now at the time of making this video, and I was able to find 3 early plays that I did like for today. We're going to break down these plays. We're going to talk about why I like them. Now, before we do get started, guys, make sure that you hit that like button down below if you enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel and if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, you can sign up, use promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and play your first $5 lineup. You're going to get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. So this is an easy way to kickstart your bankroll over on Prizepicks. You don't have to sign up and deposit a bunch of money. You can just put in the minimum, which I believe is $10. Deposit $10, play a $5 lineup, win or lose that lineup, doesn't matter. You're going to get $50 in promo funds that you can then use to play more lineups, and hopefully you'll start to win some money off those lineups and start to build up that bankroll on Prizepicks. So again, guys, check them out, sign up, use that promo code NOAH. And then I do also want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. You guys can go sign up for Sleeper. Use promo code NOAH over there. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. So whatever you put in on that first deposit, Sleeper will give you up to a $100 bonus. If you deposit $100, they'll give you an additional $100 to play with. And this is another way to kickstart your bankroll over on Sleeper. If you guys don't know what Sleeper is, they're just a DFS pick'em app similar to Prizepicks where you're picking more or less on player projections. You're building out your lineup. You can do up to an 8-pick lineup on Sleeper, win up to 100x your money. Go check them out, guys. And again, use that promo code NOAH if you have not signed up for Sleeper yet. But let's talk about some plays that I like for this slate on Monday. Now, recapping our plays from our last video, which was on Saturday. We gave out 2 picks Saturday and went 2-0. So hopefully you guys tailed and made some money. Been on a nice little heater in the MLB lately. I think we went, I want to say we went 2-0 on Thursday, I believe. 3-0 on Friday, 2-0 on Saturday. So last 7 picks we've given out on this YouTube channel were 7-0. Didn't make a video for Sunday. Just decided to take the day off. But excited to get back at it here for this slate on Monday, guys. And hopefully we can keep the ball rolling. Been loving the reads lately. Loving the plays I've been giving out. Been having a lot of success lately. And, even though I didn't make a video on Sunday, I always say this, but, for those of you that may be new here, I do provide more Prizepicks plays every single day over on Patreon. So if you guys do want to check that out, it is linked down below in the description. We did give out 3 plays on Patreon on Sunday. Went 3-0 on those 3 plays. So, again, even though there might be days I miss where I don't upload, I'm still posting Prizepicks plays over on Patreon. You want to check that out, it's linked down below in the description. But let's talk about these plays for Monday here and break them down. So the first prop I like for Monday is going to be a hitter fantasy score. We're going to look in the Red Sox and Rockies game, and I like Trevor Story for more than 5.5 hitter fantasy score. So Trevor Story has kind of had a down year this season. Like he hasn't been hitting the ball well overall this season, but as of late, Trevor Story has really started to heat up. You can see over his last 5 games, he's gone over this fantasy score line in 4 out of 5. The one game he went under, he lost by the hook. He finished with 5 fantasy points. I like this matchup a lot for Trevor Story today, going up against Austin Gomber. Austin Gomber this season, and really just the last few seasons, has just not really been a good pitcher. I mean, this season, it's a small sample because Gomber hasn't pitched much. I think he's only made like 2 or 3 starts. He's made 4 starts this year. He's not really pitched well in those 4 starts. Now, given, he hasn't had an easy schedule. He's had to face the Braves, the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, the Astros. Like, those are all pretty tough matchups. But this spot against the Red Sox is not the easiest either. Plus, this game's going to be played in Fenway Park, which is a very good hitter's ballpark. Now, sure, Austin Gomber is used to pitching in a hitter-friendly ballpark because he pitches half his games in Coors Field, which is the best hitter's park. But going to Fenway Park is not an ideal situation for Gomber either. And this Red Sox team, they've been hitting the ball well lately. They've been putting up runs. They got a lot of guys in this lineup that hit left-handed pitching well. And Trevor Story is one of them. Trevor Story has always had really good splits against left-handed pitching. So far this season, Story's batting .274 against left-handed pitching with a .307 on-base percentage, .429 slug, .735 OPS, 100 WRC plus. Not great numbers, but definitely better than his numbers versus right-handed pitching. And then if you look at his numbers at home versus left-handed pitching, this is where Story has been really good, is at home against lefties. At home against lefties, batting .316, 350 on-base percentage, 553 slug, 903 OPS, 237 ISO, 147 WRC plus. By far, his best splits this season have been at home against left-handed pitching, and that's obviously the situation that we have today. So, like to spot a lot for Trevor Story, facing a pitcher who has struggled this season, has especially struggled against right-handed hitters. Right-handed hitters are hitting .352 off Austin Gomber this year with a .378 on-base percentage, 620 slug. Even on the road, outside of Coors Field, I still feel like this is a spot where Gomber probably struggles. I mean, you look at the team totals today. The Red Sox have a team total near 6 runs. I mean, it's going to be 80 degrees in Fenway Park, winds blowing out to center, so it's going to be some pretty good hitting weather. Really like the spot for the Red Sox to put up runs here. Like this matchup a lot for Trevor Story. We're going to take him for more than 5.5 hitter fantasy score. Next prop I like is going to be a hits allowed prop, and we're going to take Sean Burke for more than 5.5 hits allowed. So as you can see, going over his last 5 games, for what it's worth, doesn't mean much, but I'll just mention it. Sean Burke has gone over this line in 3 of his last 5 starts. One start he went under was by the hook against Arizona, had 5 hits allowed, and then he did go under against the Cardinals, had 4 hits allowed in that start, but gave up 7 hits to Detroit, gave up 8 hits to Houston, gave up 6 hits in his last start against the Dodgers. Sean Burke this season has not really pitched that well. He's got a 4.03 ERA, and he's actually due for negative regression because his expected ERA is 5.15. His expected ERA is over a run higher than what his actual ERA is, and that could be due to him giving up a lot of hard contact, which this season he's been getting barreled up a lot. 10.6% barrel percentage, ranks in the bottom 18% in the league, ranks 18th percentile in barrel percentage. He's been about league average when it comes to hard hit percentage, but he doesn't really get a lot of ground balls, so he's giving up a lot of fly balls, only a 34.6% ground ball percentage. Also doesn't really get a lot of strikeouts, just a 19.2% strikeout rate. And when we're talking about hits allowed, obviously, in order for a guy to get hits, they're going to have to put the ball in play. And I think the Blue Jays are going to be able to do that against Sean Burke. The Blue Jays are already one of the lowest strikeout teams in the league. And now they're facing a pitcher who doesn't really get a lot of strikeouts, has a strikeout rate below 20% this season. This is a spot where the Blue Jays should be able to put a lot of balls in play, which hopefully will lead to hits against Sean Burke. And Sean Burke this season, if you look at his splits, he's actually been worse against right-handed hitters, giving up a 274 average to right-handed hitters. And this Blue Jays lineup is typically right-handed heavy. Right now they have 5 righties in their projected lineup, and a lot of their best hitters are right-handed hitters. Bo Bichette, Vlad, George Springer, all those guys are righties. So this is a spot where I think we definitely see some Blue Jays hitters get some hits against Sean Burke here, who's been a pretty below league average pitcher this season. The ballpark's not great. The White Sox ballpark is one that typically plays more pitcher friendly. So that's probably one thing that is working for Sean Burke here is the ballpark, pitching in that pitcher friendly park. But even still, the Blue Jays have a 5 implied run total today, so they're projected to score 5 runs. And if the Blue Jays score anywhere near 5 runs, I think there's a good chance that Sean Burke's going to have at least 6 hits allowed. I mean, you look at his last few starts, again, gave up 6 hits to the Dodgers in his last start. I think he gave up 8 to Houston, 7 to Detroit. He did pitch well against Arizona, didn't allow a run, had 5 hits and 5 hits allowed. Did have 7 strikeouts against Arizona, which is kind of surprising. Also had 7 strikeouts against St. Louis, which surprising as well. Only gave up 1 run to St. Louis. But you look at the starts where he didn't give up 6 hits. In those 2 starts, he only gave up 0. He gave up 0 and 1 earned runs. I think it's very unlikely Sean Burke gives up 0 or 1 earned runs today. I think he probably gives up at least 2, maybe 3 earned runs. His earned runs allowed prop is set at 2.5 for today, and I think it's favored towards the over. I'm not exactly sure, but I think Burke's favored to give up 3 runs here. So if he gives up 2 or 3 runs, you would think that's probably going to mean he's giving up some hits too. Hopefully 6 hits, which is what I like today. Sean Burke we're going to take for more than 5.5 hits allowed. And then our third and final prop is going to be a strikeouts prop. And we're going to take Noah Cameron for more than 4.5 strikeouts. So Noah Cameron has been showing some strikeout stuff lately. You look at his last few starts, he did have 6 strikeouts against the Yankees, had 7 against the Athletics, only had 2 against the Padres, but that's one of the toughest matchups for strikeouts. If you look this season, the Padres do have one of the lowest strikeout rates against left-handed pitching, third lowest, 19.7%. So they're a tough team to strike out. And then he only had 4 strikeouts against the Dodgers, but that was another tough matchup for strikeouts. The Dodgers ranked 24th, so they have the 7th lowest strikeout rate against left-handed pitching. And then he got 5 Ks in his most recent start against Seattle. Noah Cameron, in the minor leagues, like he's a top pitching prospect for the Royals. In the minor leagues, he was a solid strikeout pitcher. He wasn't like one of the best, but he did have a 28.6% K percentage in AAA this season. Last season in the minor leagues, he had a 27.8% K percentage. So typically when a guy has between like a 28 to 30% strikeout rate in the minors, that's typically going to lead them to like a 22 to 24% strikeout rate in the majors. And that's kind of where Noah Cameron has been. His strikeout rate this season is 19.3%, so it's a little bit lower than I think we might expect. But he still has a pretty solid whiff percentage. It ranks above league average, 25.6% whiff percentage, so he's been able to get swings and misses. Obviously, you need that when you're talking about getting strikeouts. You need to be able to get swings and misses. And the matchup here is a really good one for Noah Cameron going up against the Pirates. If you look this season, the Pirates, they do have the second highest strikeout rate against left-handed pitching, 26.7%. The Pirates have been also one of the worst offenses in the league against left-handed pitching. So this is just overall a great matchup for Noah Cameron. It's a spot where I think he should be able to rack up some strikeouts against a Pirates team that has been striking out a ton this season against lefties. And Cameron's been a solid strikeout pitcher so far this season. I know he didn't go over this line in a couple of his recent starts, but those were some really tough matchups against the Dodgers, against the Padres, 2 teams that don't really strike out against lefties. You look at his other starts this season, he had 6 Ks against the Yankees. We talked about that one, but you look at his other 5 starts, he only had 3 Ks against St. Louis, but that's a tough matchup. The Cardinals are another low strikeout team. The Cardinals, I believe, they're like bottom 10 in strikeout rate against lefties this year, not a team that strikes out a ton. He had 2 Ks against the Reds. This season, the Reds rank 13th in strikeout rate, so they've just kind of been a league average strikeout team. He had 3 Ks against St. Louis. Again, tough matchup for Ks. And then he had 3 Ks against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay ranks, let's see, where did they rank? Tampa Bay ranks 16th in K percentage. So, like, most of the matchups where he has gone under this line this season have been tough matchups for strikeouts or, like, average matchups at best. Now he gets a really good matchup, arguably one of the best matchups for strikeouts against the Pirates, who, like we just said, second highest K rate against lefties this season. So like this spot a lot for Noah Cameron. I think it's one where he can rack up some Ks. We're going to take him for more than 4.5 strikeouts. So these are 3 plays, guys, that we got for this MLB slate on Monday. Let's see if we can keep this heater rolling, man. It's been a great run lately with our MLB plays. Last 7 plays, we've hit 7-0, on our last 7 plays we've given out on this YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys have been tailing and making some money. Again, if you appreciate the content that I put out here on YouTube, just hit that like button for me. That's all that I ask. Hit that subscribe button as well. And again, if you guys don't have an account over on Prizepicks, make sure to go sign up for Prizepicks and use that promo code NOAH. So that way, when you play $5, you'll get $50 instantly in promo funds added to your account. Easy way to kickstart your bankroll on Prizepicks. But good luck as always, guys. Let's win some money tonight, and I'll see you in the next video.